Feathered geniuses, the surprising intelligence. Universe of crows. What if I told you that a black feathered crow perched on an ordinary phone cable could be smarter than an average toddler just learning to walk, and even possess more advanced problem-solving abilities than some adults? Crows are much more than most people think. They're not just scavengers roaming through garbage dumps, chasing carrion, or symbols of bad luck. In fact, these birds, studied by scientists for years, are recognized as one of the most intelligent animals on Earth. So much so that they can make tools, plan for the future, and even exhibit funeral-like behaviors for their own dead. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy it. Let's get into the video. An ordinary moment of the day. Extraordinary intelligence. In the early morning hours, black silhouettes lined up on electric wires create a dramatic tableau against the sky. Most people simply pass by this scene, perhaps feeling slight discomfort. After all, crows are generally seen as harbingers of bad luck. However, behind this seemingly ordinary moment lies one of nature's most sophisticated intelligences. That crow on the electric wire is probably analyzing its surroundings at that moment, making plans, and perhaps even developing strategies for tomorrow. Champions in intelligence tests. When scientists tested crows in laboratory environments, the results were astounding. These birds successfully pass problem-solving tests that would challenge even a 3-year-old child. For example, they can bend a piece of wire to make a hook to reach food inside a transparent tube, and they learn this through trial and error alone, without ever having seen it before. Even more impressive is crows' capacity for future thinking. In a laboratory experiment, crows were given tools of different shapes and asked to use them to obtain food. The crows not only solved the current problem, but could also foresee which tool would be more useful in which future situation. This is a skill requiring abstract thinking and planning, an ability that many adult humans cannot fully apply in daily life. Toolmaster Crow's tool-using abilities are at a level that would overshadow even primates. New Caledonian crows are so skilled at making sophisticated tools in nature that scientists have begun calling them feathered monkeys. These crows create spear-like tools by cutting leaves, shape branches into hooks, and even produce composite tools by combining different materials. The most surprising example is the story of a crow named Betty. Researchers at Oxford University gave Betty a straight wire and told her to use it to reach food in a bucket. Betty bent the wire with her beak to create a perfect hook and successfully retrieved the food. This demonstrates not just physical dexterity, but also the ability to understand material properties and transform them appropriately for the purpose. Social strategy. Crows are also masters at understanding and manipulating complex social dynamics. Crows living in flocks exist within a hierarchical order and develop sophisticated strategies to find their place in this order. Young crows learn by observing experienced adults, not only what to eat, but also how to avoid dangers, how to interact with other species, and even how to manipulate humans. Crows' deception abilities are particularly noteworthy. When a crow finds a piece of food, it may exhibit fake non-burying behavior to hide it from other crows. While hiding the real food in a secret location, it pretends to dig an empty hole where other crows can see. This shows not just deception, but also the ability to understand other crows' mental states and act accordingly. Memory champions. Crows' spatial memory is incredibly powerful. They can remember food they've hidden in thousands of different locations for months. But this isn't just simple location memory. Crows also remember what they hid, when they hid it, and which hiding places are safer. Using this information, they adapt their strategies according to seasonal changes and environmental conditions. Even more impressive is crows' ability to recognize and remember human faces. In a famous study at the University of Washington, researchers captured crows while wearing caveman masks. Years later, when different people wearing the same masks walked on campus, crows attacked them and warned other crows. This information was passed down through generations within the crow community. Even young crows, who never experienced that event, exhibited aggressive behavior when they saw the mask. Emotional intelligence and empathy. Crows display not only cognitive intelligence, but also emotional intelligence. When they encounter the death of a crow, other crows gather around and behave as if organizing a funeral ceremony. This behavior can be interpreted not just as curiosity, but as an expression of feelings of loss and grief. Crows can also show empathy toward other species. Stories of crows feeding injured kittens, playing with dogs, and even bringing gifts to humans are quite common. These behaviors show that crows have a broad spectrum of empathy that isn't limited to their own species. Language and communication. Crows' communication system is also quite complex. They use different tones and calls for different situations. Danger warnings, food discovery calls, social interaction sounds, and even name-like personal identifiers. These sounds can convey not only immediate situations, but also future plans and past experiences. Even more surprising is that crows have regional dialects. It has been observed that crow communities in different geographical regions use different sound patterns to express the same meanings. This shows the existence of cultural learning and knowledge transfer, much like linguistic diversity in humans. Creative problem solving. Crows' creativity goes far beyond standard problem solving. Crows living in Japan ensure that cars crush hard-shelled nuts by dropping them onto busy traffic roads, but they don't drop them randomly. They learn traffic light timing, dropping nuts during red lights and safely collecting them when the light turns green. In another example, urban crows work as a team to open garbage cans. One crow holds the lid open while another removes the food inside. This coordinated work requires not only cooperation, but also role distribution and timing sound skills. Adaptation to human society. Crows are perhaps the most successful bird species in adapting to human civilization. Crows living in cities have developed different behavioral patterns from rural crows. They learn traffic rules, follow human routines, and even try to get food from vending machines by mimicking money usage. Some crows living in Tokyo have been observed learning to buy food from bread vendors in exchange for money. Crows that find money take it to vendors and exchange it for food. This shows the ability to understand the conceptual value of money and participate in economic exchange. Future perspective. As scientists understand crow intelligence, we've begun to better grasp that human intelligence isn't unique. Crows show us that different evolutionary paths can also lead to complex forms of intelligence. The bird brain, which has a completely different structure from the mammalian brain, proves that the same cognitive abilities can be achieved through different pathways. These discoveries lead us to question not only how intelligent crows are, but also the nature of intelligence itself. Perhaps intelligence isn't just about brain size or neuron count, but about how these neurons are organized and interact with each other. Conclusion. Feathered philosophers. In conclusion, we must acknowledge that the ordinary crow on the electric wire is actually a feathered genius. They're not just carrion-eating birds. They're complex creatures with mental abilities that think strategically, solve problems, make tools, and even show empathy. When we accept this reality, our understanding of intelligence, diversity in nature, and the richness of cognitive abilities in the animal kingdom also deepens. Perhaps the next time you see a crow, you'll remember that you're looking not just at a bird, but at a feathered philosopher, a strategist, and a problem solver. And who knows, maybe it's also looking at you, thinking about you, making plans, and developing strategies for its next move. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned to our channel for more videos about other surprising examples of intelligence in nature.